Welcome everyone to my latest Bandai Tomoshi SH Figuarts review, as I have the newest release for the DC line. It is Flash from The Flash, which of course is based on last summer's movie from the DCEU. And for many reasons this figure isn't going to be a popular one, just due to the controversy surrounding the actor, and also the movie got pretty low ratings. For me personally, I thoroughly enjoyed The Flash, the movie, and I am a fan of the DCEU, so I did want to add this into the collection since I do have the Batman figure as well. And it is kind of weird to of course have the main character released second, which is not always the case, but I think Batman's popularity was the reason why they released that figure first. So here we have it, Flash, and this is the first in my collection. Even though Tomoshi Nations have given us one previously, it was based on the Justice League version. I just never got around to picking that one up just because they never completed the team, and I kind of moved on to the Medicom Mafex releases. So yeah, this is my first Flash in the collection, and looking at the packaging, it is kind of standard for Tomoshi Nations, but it's really nicely presented and there's no denying it, especially for the DC line. They always are up to standards when it comes to the box. Just looking at the artwork kind of at the front with all the colors and then the gold text to really blend in well. And one thing they always do for the DC characters is they use kind of like a real digital photo of the character. So looking pretty cool. And then the usual logos and stickers at the front. And here's a shot on the side. Of course we have a display of the figure itself. And then the other side with the text. And then at the top more gold text and then some information at the bottom. And here's a look at the back, of course the figure in different poses. So inside we do get a background display, and there's also some instruction manual just to show you how to put on the accessories. And here is a full look at the Flash figure inside this packaging. So here is a first look at the Flash Barry Allen, my first one in the DC collection for the SH Figuarts line. And no doubt this is very different to the previous Justice League version, just due to the different suit this time. And based on the promos I was seeing, the suit kind of looked a bit weird in terms of the texture and colors. Now seeing this in person, I think it does look a lot better. And I think that was just due to the lighting on the figure. I think the colors do look okay, they blend well with the helmet. No doubt there is some sort of contrast difference to it. The helmet kind of has more of a shiny look, whereas the actual bodysuit has more of a matte type of finish. But no doubt in person I think the colors are a lot darker. And I know in the movie there was many different scenes when Flash was kind of in the daylight and it was very bright red, and then some scenes of course when he's running back in time, a lot of the night scenes, the suit kind of showed it like this. So no doubt I do prefer it in more of a darker color. And yeah, this suit, you don't actually get to really notice it in the movie, but you can see a lot of these yellow patterns on it. I'm not sure if that's the actual suit or if that's meant to be some sort of lightning effects. I believe it's meant to be the design of the suit. I don't see any reason why they would put lightning effects on the basis of the figure. So yeah, first impressions, I think it does look good, and he is quite tall as well. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be accurate because we know that Batman figure was pretty small. Again, that was meant to be accurate. So yeah, first impressions, I think it's okay. No doubt I think the colors do look a lot better in person. So here is a shot at the back, so it kind of just blends in well with the rest. And I really like the gold colors, so you can see it on his main symbol and the belt at the back, and then obviously the boots. So it's overall a really nice design, and I'll say it's personal preference. It is a tough one if I had to choose between this and the Justice League suit. Of course both kind of match well with their respective movies. So yeah, first impressions, I'll say that this is a pretty decent look. So for the accessories, let's first focus on the head sculpts. So this is the helmet look right out of the packaging, and I think the likeness to Barry Allen in the movie is decent. It's not the perfect sculpt, but I definitely see the likeness there, and I kind of do like it. Of course it does include an extra eye patch, which we have to kind of remove the eyes inside. And this is taken from that opening scene when he runs off, and of course he kind of has this shades or goggle look to the helmet. So I'm going to do that now. So it does include this tool, and you just kind of punch out from the front. So here is the alternative look for the Flash, which I think is actually pretty nice for a different option. So I remember seeing in the movie it is kind of transparent, but it looks like they've done it with the full kind of coverage of the eyes. And it didn't take too long to remove, but obviously I do prefer it if they just give us an alternative head sculpt. But of course, maybe just due to budget reasons, they've decided to do this. And yeah, this basically gives you another option. Of course, you do need to pair it with the different hands, so it looks like he's about to speed off. So yeah, this is the different option. So they've also included the alternative head sculpt for the Flash. So here is the unmasked look of Barry Allen, which of course they did not include in the Justice League version, so we're seeing it for the first time for an SH Figuarts. So it is included with the neck, and also notice they've included this piece, which is obviously the helmet when it's removed, and I'm sure you just hook it on as well, and then you place the neck on with the head sculpt. So you can see from the back it looks like he is unmasked, so I do like this. And in terms of the lightness, I think it's about 80%. It's not perfect, far from it. You can kind of see the resemblance to Ezra Miller. I feel the hairstyle could be done slightly better, maybe a bit longer, but I think some angles it's okay, certain angles not so much. But I guess it is a bonus because I feel that just in this movie he had many scenes when he is unmasked. But no doubt I prefer the helmet look of this figure. So just a quick comparison with the Medicom Effects version from the Justice League line. And I know that they just announced the new one, which is coming out next year. So I think both figures definitely didn't nail the look. It's probably a bit difficult to make this face sculpt. So you can see both very different for obvious reasons to match up with their movies. So no doubt this is a nice bonus to also have since we're seeing it for the first time. But I no doubt prefer the helmet versions. And next up we can take a look at the different hand accessories. So the first set right out of the box is the standard fisted hands. So for the alternative hands we have a set of relaxed palms, although this is more to be used for the running pose. We also get a set of open palms, which once again they can be used for certain dynamic poses, and this is pretty standard as well. And for the fourth and final set of hands we have kind of the pointing of the fingers, but once again it can be used for the running at speed pose, which I believe is mostly what it's for, and I guess all the hands can be used for running since it is Flash. And we are not done with the accessories for the Flash, as for the first time it does include these lightning speed effects. So it does include a set of larger ones as well as a slightly smaller ones, so they can be attached to both the arms and legs. And this is something we're seeing for the first time since they did not include it in the Justice League version. Even the Medicom Effects one did not include these effects. But I believe a lot of Flash figures recently have started to kind of implement this type of accessory. And we know in the next Medicom Zack Snyder's Justice League version they will include them as well, albeit it is slightly different. So this is kind of the SH Figuarts versions, which they've kind of included not only the lightnings but kind of the speed effects as well. So I'm not sure how well it would work. I'm gonna have to test it out now. So here are the lightning speed effects attached onto both the arms and legs, and it's kind of freestyle. You can attach it at any kind of way you want, whether it's near the front or at the back of the arms. And I think it definitely looks better than I expected, and of course it could have just included the lightning effects if they wanted to, but it looks like they've included the speed effects, and I think at the right angle it can look pretty cool. So yeah, I guess it is a bonus. Once again, they did not include it in the previous Justice League version, and this is something that Tomachinations have recently kind of implemented in their DC figures. We saw it with the Black Adam as well as the Aquaman figure as well. They're starting to add these kind of effects. So it definitely provides competition if you have other options in terms of the Flash. So yeah, just give you a closer look at how it's kind of attached on. And I kind of just done it freestyle. It really is up to you depending on his pose. So when he's running at full speed, of course it can fall off, as you can see. You just got to get it on the right angle. And yeah, it does look okay. So yeah, I think this is a nice bonus to have. and no doubt I'll rather have it than not include one. And now let's take a look at the articulation, so the movement of the Flash figure, which of course is very important for him to be into many dynamic poses. So starting off with the head sculpt, it can turn left and right, no problems, and it can go round and round, and you can also tilt it really well to the side and then downwards this much, and then upwards quite a lot as well. And then for the arms, very smooth in terms of moving it side to side, and they can be pushed forwards, backwards. Really good rotation on this arm. You can see there's also an extra joint on the shoulder pads which can be pushed down, so it can go inwards this much and obviously backwards. And then we have rotation on the bicep, and there's also a forearm bend. And then for the hands, there's rotation, there's a very good hinge, you can see. And then for the body, so upper torso, once again very smooth. Not always the case for SH Figuarts where you can rotate it so freely, and that's exactly what this does. So it can go all the way around, side to side, backwards and forwards as well. And then the ab crunch, pretty good as well. So yeah, so far so good in terms of articulation. Only the waist doesn't turn too much, and yeah, not too sure, but that's just the way they've done it. And then for the legs, really good splits, kick forwards, backwards really smoothly, kind of like how the arms are done. I really like the way they've done this. So rotation on the thighs, and then a full knee bend. And yeah, it's not to the point where it's loose, but it's very smooth in terms of moving these joints on this figure. And then we have the boots itself, so only the foot rotates and side to side and goes downwards, upwards. There's a toe hinge as well. So yeah, very good articulation on this figure. The only limitation is there's no real waist turn. So other than that, everything does its job. So now for the size comparison, starting off with the two Batmans that are also featured in the movie, as we have the SH Figuarts versions of the Keaton Batman on the left, which is from the same line, and we also on the right have the Affleck version of Batman. This is the Justice League version they released previously, and I'm not sure if they're going to give us an official one of this Batman as well. Highly doubt it, since they don't really expand on the line. The Flash is one of the movies that is the final ones in the DCEU. It kind of reset this universe. So hopefully they'll give us at least a Supergirl to kind of complete that trio before they close the chapter on this universe. But who knows, they could still possibly make more characters in the future. And here it is next to the SH Figuarts Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 1984 and Aquaman from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And here it is next to the Mafex versions of the Justice League Bruce Wayne and Cyborg, as well as next to the Mafex Justice League versions of Superman and Flash himself. And here it is next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home and a Jada Toys Ken from the Street Fighter line. And in case you're wondering, here it is next to some Flash figures from the McFarlane Toys, which obviously doesn't scale well together. So now for my final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Flash for The Flash. First, you really need to be a fan of this movie or this universe to really want this once again, since it's basically another Flash for the DCEU. The new colours, however, on this suit does make it different to the previous Justice League version, and what sets it apart is it has more posability this time, due to the fact they've included the lightning speed effects, as well as an unmasked Barry Allen head sculpt, which does make this also an improvement. And the only thing I'll say is the effects could have been done better, as it does look very basic. Maybe do something that the other companies have done, where they've just included the lightning effects, and just to make it a bit more realistic. So you do really need to get this in the right pose, otherwise it can look a bit odd. Other than that, it is a great display to go with the Batman and some of the other DC characters. But if you're someone that already has a Flash from the Mafex or Mezco lines, and you didn't really enjoy this movie, I can say that you're fine without it. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10, as it does what I expected, and it's got enough accessories for those different poses. And now that I have the Flash and the Batman, I do want to see a Supergirl made as well, and even a young Barry Allen Flash, and even a Zod if they really want to expand the line further. Check out my other SH Figuarts reviews and use my affiliate in the description below to browse some of the other SH Figuarts products. Stay tuned to more SH Figuarts reviews, news and collections, and thanks for watching.